My name is Eunice, and I have narcolepsy. And so I wanted to share a story of my earlier days of narcolepsy and the faithfulness of God. I have so many different stories, but I found out I had narcolepsy in college. And I was doing a summer internship program, and a family was allowing me to use their vehicle to go to work for my internship. And I kept falling asleep driving 10 minutes to the job. I apparently kept falling asleep in different aspects as well, but like I ran in the mornings. I'm just a very physical person. So people were like, oh, you know, it's probably this. You know how we do. And apparently, I didn't realize how many people were so dependent on coffee. That's when I really like it was. It still concerns me, but it really actually concerned me because I was like, wait, all y'all be drinking coffee because y'all tired like that? Like this is like what y'all do. Did not grow up in a family like that. So I was shocked because I was like, wait, maybe all y'all gotta sleep in this order. But no. So found out in college, and it was abnormal falling asleep. Like I would sleep at night, and I would be driving 2 minutes and fall asleep at the traffic signal. It'll be like that, and so um, super scary because I couldn't control it, and I would wake up because people were honking at me. I have had, I have legitimately blacked out at a light. And it's that quick to where I'm not like knowing that, oh, I'm just so sleepy. Let me, try to stay. No, I'm just at the light like everybody else. I stop. And then I'm awakened by someone knocking on my window because by the grace of God, my foot is still on the brake. Because there's definitely times where my foot would come up off the brake. I'll tell those stories a little later. But when I think about the grace of God and the fact that my foot was still on the brake and I was knocked out sleep, God is truly a protector. So anyway, that family particularly, I told them I couldn't drive their vehicle anymore. I didn't feel responsible because I kept falling asleep. I didn't know what was going on. I was really sad. Like I didn't understand. They, of course, were like, drink coffee, like everybody else gonna tell them to do, and do all these different things, and try to change your diet, and all these different things. And I did them because that's what we do. We're just trying to find out what's going on, and it doesn't make sense. So that is the first part. Hello, hello. So I was just thinking as I'm getting ready for the week doing my hair, as someone who has two chronic illnesses, but one that affects me every single day. One, I did want to say that when it comes to chronic illness, it is something that can affect someone every single day. It could be every other day. It could be every month. It could be a couple weeks out the month. It definitely varies. So there's something to be mindful of when you have loved ones that have chronic illnesses, or even you naming and claiming the fact that you have one. It doesn't have to just fit in one specific box that has to be every single day, all day long, pain or whatever the thing may be. So I wanted to share that and validate the varied experiences with people dealing with chronic illnesses. But one of the things I did want to say for those who love people that have chronic illness, that you have them in your close circles, work with, have some kind of social environment that you engage with them often. Please know that, number one, we often try to operate out of the greatest strength that we have in light of the fact that we have chronic illness already. So when we are at capacity or past capacity sometimes and still trying to do things, we should not do that. And I'm saying that to myself. But a lot of times, because we already come from a deficit, we will try to overcompensate. right or wrong. That is just the reality. And it's not just people with chronic illnesses, but this specifically is in light of us. I just want to say, could I ask a strong ask to be thoughtful of your friends, family, loved ones who are dealing with chronic illness? Be thoughtful of the fact, be mindful that they are trying to do the best that they can a lot of times, and also, again, go beyond that just to prove that we're worthy at times. And so it is hard in relationships when you're already trying to do that, and then having loved ones who know that you deal with this on a regular basis, and they require more of you. They are not considerate of your different limitations. And again, this can go for any relationship, any type of person, typically develop all those different things. But specifically when dealing with someone with chronic illness, the fact that we have to deal with it in the increments or amount of time, daily, however the time period is, as we do, we have to think about it. Like, we have to think about it. You don't have to, but it just will be helpful, again, if you love and care for people who have chronic illness, just to be mindful of their different struggles, and the same way that they would be willing to go above and beyond for you in the ways that they try to, or trying to be considerate for you in the ways that they do. And even if they don't, just please consider that reality, and how for some, you have to work harder to even breathe, to just move. It takes a lot for you to even think. If it's neurological, like, these are things that are continual, regular for people with chronic illness. And it just would help so much as I think about even bearing one another's burdens. The capacity that people have who do not have to deal with that. Can you just show up knowing that you actually have the capacity and not see it as someone being in need and you wanting, or you feeling like that they owe you? Can you show up just as, well, I can do this, I have it. Yes, it's a sacrifice. Yes, it's a labor of love, but I love this person. I care for this person. I want to support this person, regardless of what they could do for me. So that's just something that was on my mind. I definitely have had friends showing up for me in so many ways, and I'm so thankful. But I've definitely been in support groups where that is just really hard for people. That connection, and even feeling like people will show up for them, not even as an expectation, but just as a human person. Like, can I have people treat me the way that they want to be treated in the different seasons of life that they have and that they're in? Well, with chronic illness, it just really takes a village, and it's already humbling every single day. So yeah, just something to consider, that he or she or whoever that has an ear, let them hear. Bye.
Okay, so that particular family, the wife, she's like, well, why don't we go to the doctor? And she was asking me a lot of different questions, and I'm just like, I don't know, this and this, blah blah blah. But I'm just answering them the best that I know, and then I'm asking others because they were noticing things as well. I was 19 years old, it was my sophomore year. And so she took me to, man, when I tell you, as much as I blamed God and I was angry with God for allowing me to have this chronic illness, when I think about the goodness. But seriously, like, this family took me to the doctor and to see a specialist. I was 19. I didn't have any money. I had the school's insurance. I went to Tuskegee University, TU. Yeah, you know. And so I don't even remember anything else. I just know that I went. And after that appointment, because I don't know what was said and what was all asked and all that. After that appointment, she took me to a specialist at some point. And I started having other people drive me because, again, I felt totally irresponsible. I was afraid. I was falling asleep on my internship. I was falling asleep at the job. It was an accounting job. Oh my gosh. When I say I messed up their books. And this man was so gracious. He gave me an opportunity to try to make it right. But, whew, when I tell you I would fall asleep, wake up, realize the numbers would be so off. Man, I mean, the kindness of God with the people who were around me in my life in those specific moments where I was totally lost and confused and sad and hurt because my body is not doing what it's supposed to do. And so I was taken to a specialist in a different city by the same woman who I stayed with sometime as well. And I never saw a bill. They ran tests. I never saw a bill. And again, simultaneously, I'm like, God, what is going on? And I really wasn't thinking about the ways that he keeps me even in suffering, because it was some real type of suffering. I ended up leaving the job because I felt so irresponsible. And I just, asked him to forgive me. And I know it's a job and that may seem silly, but I wasn't operating in who I knew myself to be, and I didn't understand. And there was nothing I could articulate to anyone because, again, on the outside looking in, I was just falling asleep. Just drink some more coffee, just get more sleep at night, just eat better. And that just wasn't enough.